I know other coaches that'll tell you to flip the script, ignore her, get her to chase you or get him to chase you. You know, again, that seems kind of fake. Because if that person does finally start liking you or loving you, will you ever really know if it was because you guilted them into it or talked them into it or convinced them to be with you? I kinda like you. Hey everybody, Stephen Bastian with The Relationship Life, and tonight's episode is called Destiny. I'm not going to get into a definition of what destiny is. You all know what destiny is. I'm not going to sit here and pander, treat you guys like you're stupid. We all know what destiny is, so I don't need to explain that. But we are going to talk about what we think it is, our misconceptions, and some ideas that maybe have gotten lost over time. And what we think is destiny may not be. It may not be. Let's take love at first sight, for example. You meet somebody and it's instant chemistry. I mean, you guys just click on every level. You're in love, like instantly. You still got to do the work. You still got to get to know each other, because if you base your entire relationship on the fact that you are together and you're in love and you've just met and it's been 4 days and you're ready to move into each other or run off into Las Vegas and get married, yeah, that's not gonna work. Because once the initial thrill of the oh my god is over, you're screwed. It's like I talked about last night in my After Dark series. You've got to build anticipation. And you've got to be on the same page romantically. Let's say you meet somebody and you're instantly in love with that person, but maybe that person's not quite in love with you yet. Maybe they're at a different place in their life and they're not ready for that level of relationship. But you know in your heart, it's destiny, man. We are meant to be. All of the signs are lining up. Everything's coming together beautifully. I know in my heart we're meant to be. We're going to be together forever. I just need to convince him or her of that. Yeah, if you're in a relationship like that and it's one-sided and you're in love with somebody and that person has told you, I'm not sure right now, we'll see what happens. Stop pushing. Just stop. Just absolutely stop, because if you're not in the same place, you're going to blow it. Male or female, you're going to ruin everything. It may be destiny. It may be fate that you guys end up together. And there are those that are argue that if it is meant to be, it's going to be no matter what you do. Possibly. Nobody knows for sure. But wouldn't you rather hedge your bets? Wouldn't you rather be sure? If you're in a friendship or you're in love with somebody that's not really sure if they're in love with you yet and they're not quite in the same place, like I said, stop. Just stop. You want to be that person's friend? Yes. I'm not saying cut off the person at all. Actually, I'm talking about quite the opposite. You want to take the emotions and the feelings and the love that you have for that person, and you need to put them over here. And you need to realize that you're pushing. And if you keep pushing, you're going to push that person away forever. You're going to lose her, or him, or her, or whatever it happens to be. This works on both sides. Usually sometimes I talk to the females, I talk to the males. This is universal. If you're pushing to get into a relationship, stop. Now I'm going to get into why, it's counterproductive. And I know you guys know why it is, but I'm going to go a little deeper than just the surface. Women do not like men that are too pushy. Trying to constantly convince them, you need to be with you. You need to be with me. We belong together. They don't want to hear that. That's going to have the opposite effect. If you're a guy, you need to be her friend. You need to be her rock. Actually, this works on both sides. If you're a female, that person that you love is going to go through some hard times. Guaranteed. Everybody does. We're human. We all have hard days. You need to be there for that person. You need to be that shoulder. Now, there's a lot of dating coaches that will tell you the opposite of that. You could scour YouTube and find them all over the place. They'll tell you to flip the script on them, man. What you got to do is you got to ignore that girl. Don't talk to her. She texts you, wait 20 minutes. If you text her, hey, and she takes 10 minutes to answer, you don't text her back for 20. Or you wait 2 hours. Or 2 days. Make her chase you. Make her wonder, what's up with this guy? He's mysterious. I don't understand. Does he like me? Does he not like me? Make her insecure. Is that how you want to fall in love? I'm not talking about hit it and quit it. If you're trying to get in her pants, yeah, God love you. That's probably the best game for you, and it will 9 times out of 10 work. But I'm talking about love, relationships. You don't have to play games. You don't. You got to play some games. Like in the very, very beginning, let's say it wasn't love at first sight. Let's say you meet a girl, or you're a guy, you meet a girl, or you're a girl and you meet a dude and he's hot. Or you meet a guy, you're a guy and you meet a girl and she's hot. I'm confusing myself. You meet somebody and they're hot. You think, oh, okay, this could go somewhere. I like this person. This person's pretty funny, or this person's pretty cute, or whatever. You got to play a few games, and we'll do a whole segment on dating. I'll do a whole show on dating, on the initial dating, the first date, what to expect, pitfalls, the first text message. How do you handle that? The first picture that's sent back and forth. I already touched on the picture thing, and I know I'm still getting a little bit of flack for that. I'm not saying every girl sends every guy 5 pictures. I'm not saying that. Actually, okay. I said that wrong. I'm not saying that every girl sends a picture to 5 different guys at a time. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to the guys, what I was trying to say, and I think I got my point across, is you got to pretend like they do so that you stand apart, because she has sent pictures to somebody before. It may not be at that moment, but she has sent pictures to somebody at some point. Unless you just moved off a desert island somewhere and has never seen a computer before or a phone. She has sent pictures to people before. You gotta stand apart. You gotta be the guy that's not gonna go all gaga and be up her butt. And that's the whole point of this, is you don't want to be up her ass. Ladies, if you got a guy you're interested in and you're clingy and needy and he's got to pry you out of his ass with a crowbar, let me tell you something. Guys hate that as much as you do. We hate that. Girl, it's all, no, give me my space. Back off a little bit. I don't need you all like calling me 20 times a day because I didn't answer your text message. No, like let it go, man. Don't double text. Now when I say, a lot of coaches will say, don't ever double text. Never, ever double text. It's a cardinal sin of dating. In the beginning, yes. When you first meet them, yes, absolutely. Never. You should never double text until you've had your first kiss. After your first kiss, after you spend some time together, you get to know each other. You can double text. I have a best friend that I talk to every day. I double text. I she'll tell you, I quadruple text. I have text strings that long because we're friends. I'm not playing games with her. There's no game to be played. We're friends, and that's it. We're just friends. And what I'm trying to say is that if you're in that imbalanced relationship where you love somebody, but she's not sure or he's not sure, you need to bring that back to equilibrium. You need to bring that back to friendship. Be their rock. Be there for them. Be supportive, because when that person is ready to be in a relationship, who are they going to look at? They're going to look at the person that's been there the whole time. Now, they say there's a friend zone, and there is. I've been friend zoned. But you know if somebody likes you. You know if it's a little bit more than friends. She's not telling you how she feels about you, or he's not telling you how he feels about you. But you can tell. You could tell it's more than just friendship. the flirting, the little slips of the tongue when they let little things out that, oops, I shouldn't have said that. You know. Come on. None of you are stupid. You know this. All right? Now, you can't force it. You can go ahead and beat them over the head with a shovel emotionally until they're finally guilted into it, or they're so. I've seen the ladies do this. I've heard of this. I've never actually witnessed it, but I have heard stories, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I'm sure there's people out there that have done this, but ladies, sometimes when you've been with a guy for a while and he's just not getting the hint, you'll leave bridal magazines on the coffee table. You'll drop little hints about, this and that, put on movies about proposals or weddings, and you'll talk about weddings, and you'll drop all kinds of hints. If not outright say, when the hell are you going to propose to me, mofo? Heard of that too. You'll get him to the point where he's like, fine, all right, I'll get the ring. Jesus, just leave me alone. Is that who you want to marry? Is that the kind of marriage you want to have? That you beat him over the head to the point where he had no choice but to propose? Are you kidding me? That's not love. That relationship's not going to last 5 years if you're lucky. Because he doesn't want to be there, or she doesn't want to be there. Anyway, sorry, I got a text message. That person doesn't want to be there. That person doesn't want to be there, and you force them into it. Okay? Wouldn't you rather have it naturally? Wouldn't you rather that person come to you and want to be with you, want to marry you? It seems so counterproductive, and it's the instant gratification thing of what I was talking about last night. There's delayed gratification, but there's also that instant gratification, and a lot of us try to go for the easy way out. We want that instant gratification, so we force it and we push. Like I said, I know other coaches that'll tell you to flip the script, ignore her, get her to chase you, or get him to chase you. Again, that seems kind of fake. Because if that person does finally start liking you or loving you, will you ever really know if it was because you guilted them into it, or talked them into it, or convinced them to be with you? I'm guilty of it. I've done it. That's why I know it doesn't work. And like I said, even if you end up getting the person, did they come to you willingly or reluctantly? Did they finally give you a date to shut you up? I'm sure guys know what pity sex is. I've had it. I don't like it. I don't want pity sex. Okay? Bottom line, you can't make yourself love somebody. You can't. You either do or you don't. And you can't make yourself not love somebody. The other side of that coin is completely true. You can't, if you love somebody, you can't just say one day you're going to wake up, okay, I'm not going to love this person anymore. That bullshit. But I try not to curse a lot on this show, but bullshit. It ain't that easy. And if you're coming out of a relationship, you need to take the time to heal. You have to. But you can't make yourself love someone, and like I said, you damn sure can't make yourself unlove someone. The heart wants what the heart wants. So you trying to convince him or her that we belong together because it's destiny. We belong together. We are meant to be together. You trying to convince that person, it's just going to drive them away. Ladies, you'll come off needy and clingy. Guys, you'll come off as a pussy. No other way to put it. She's not going to respect you. Nothing you do or don't do will change the outcome if it's meant to be. So if you truly believe it's destiny, if that's what you believe in, if you believe in fate, that we're meant to be, it's written in the stars that we're going to be together, then you don't have to do anything, dude. You don't have to do anything. It's meant to be. It's destiny. But if that doesn't exist, if that's all in our heads, if that's just something to make the collective human consciousness feel better, then wouldn't you want to hedge your bet and do the right thing? Back off. Be his or her friend. Be their rock, their support, the person they need the most. Especially when things start getting shitty. I love doing shows at night. Be their rock. Because if you do, you just might win their heart. You've all heard the story of the guy that loved the girl, the nice guy syndrome, as I call it. Thank you, Amy. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. You've all heard the story of the nice guy syndrome. I'm actually doing a film called The Nice Guy Syndrome. I've written it. A lot of it's about me. I'm not going to lie. As you guys get to know me better, you're going to realize when you see that film, holy crap, that entire film is just pretty much about Steven. I've changed a lot in the film. I'm creative license, but write what you know, right? So it's a 2-hour film. It's a romantic comedy. It's called The Nice Guy Syndrome. It's about a story about a guy named Alex Kelvin who's in love with this girl. He buys her a car. She doesn't love him. She keeps telling him, I don't know. I'm not ready yet. I've got too much going on. I've got to get my life sorted out. She's giving him all the hints. And the hints that she's giving him is, I need you to be here for me. I've got a lot going on. I've got the kids. I've got the job. I've got this. I've got that. I've got all these things going on and I'm losing my mind and I'm going crazy. She's crying out for help. Please, just be there for me. Stop trying to convince me that we need to be together and just be my friend. That's what she's screaming at you. And Alex goes through this. But he doesn't realize it in time. He's in love with her. Her car breaks down. I'm not going to spoil much of the film, but his car breaks down and he finds out that she wasn't what he thought she was. I don't want to spoil it, but it's based on things that have happened in my life. And like I said, I was that guy. And it didn't work. And I didn't get the girl. Did not. In fact, she ghosted me. It was too pushy. Too needy. I was a little bitch. No other way to put that. Apologize if I offended anyone there. But I was being a little bitch. And she needed a man. She needed someone to step up and be her rock. I will never make that mistake again. Never. Because I know better now. And I can pass this on to you. I mean, you've all heard of the guy that, like I said, that I was saying, buys her the car, not necessarily a car, but is always there for her. She says jump, he says how high. He's given her money, he's given her, and she's using him. She knows she's using him. She's laughing with her friends. That dude bought me a laptop last week. What a schmuck. There are women like that. Not all of them, but there are. I've made one of those life tips I do, the Steven Life Tips. The one I did today, I was being funny, but I was also being serious. Nice guys don't finish last. You've all heard nice guys finish last. Nice guys don't finish last. They finish in the shower because they're alone. You know why they're alone? Not because they're nice guys. And they'll make the women say they want a nice guy, but they don't want a nice guy. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They don't want a bitch. They want a nice man, a real man who's going to step up for her and be there for her and kiss her passionately on the first date and kiss her just as passionately on their 15th anniversary. Just as passionately on their 15th anniversary. That when you're having a fight, instead of getting personal and saying, you're acting like a real man, you stay on topic and you're like, look, let's discuss this. We don't agree about it, but it's okay. And I'm going to get into a whole show on points. It's going to be called Points of View and Points to View. And I'm going to show you different points of view and how to look at it empathically from your partner's standpoint. That when your partner's mad at you about something, unless they're just an asshole, They probably have a point of view you don't understand. Any argument is misunderstanding. Again, unless that person's an asshole. There are assholes. You know, you've heard of the girl that goes out and she meets the guy. You know, like I always like to say in the bar, the cowboy hat. Guy in the cowboy hat in the bar. Howdy, ma'am. I always do that because it's so funny, because it's so stereotypical. They all want that guy in the Stetson, huh? You know, some of them want, how you doing? But some of them want the guy in the cowboy hat. He's got his shirt open to here, you know. But they meet that guy, and that guy's just Mr. Wonderful. And then they get in a relationship with him, and they find out the guy's a dick. He probably brushes his hair more than you do. And he's all about him. And he doesn't pay any attention to you. You all heard of those women that get with a guy that's just after him for one thing. And when they get it, and they'll promise the moon. They'll tell you, I love your family. I love your kids. I think your job is amazing. I think you're the most awesome person in the world. Hey, I like you. Till they get laid about a dozen times and you start falling in love with them. And then suddenly you're like, hey, you know, I just forgot I'm married. Or I just forgot I got my job called me out to, I've got to go out to the West Coast because my job's transferring me. You work at Food Lion. Yeah, Food Lion, you're a cashier. They don't transfer cashiers. You know, we've all heard of that. The best way to weed that out is just be a real person. And when you find that person that you know is the one, that it's meant to be, don't screw it up. Be patient. Be loving. Be there for that person. And get off your own agenda. See, we have objectives in every relationship. We have a goal. Some guys are sleazebags, and their goal is to get in the bed, to hit it. That's their goal. That's their end game. That's what they are focused on. That's their payout. Some people, like me, want to pay out of a long-term, serious relationship, a loving, romantic relationship with a partner who's your best friend and your confidant, and the shoulder you cry on. That's the payout. But when you meet somebody and it's not balanced, if you two are just instantly in love and it's love at first sight, yeah, go for it. Express yourself. You tell her all your whole heart. You tell him your whole heart, because you're in it together. You're just instant boom. But if it's imbalanced, if one person is at one point of the relationship and the other person's still down here and not really ready yet, you got to back way off, or you may lose the best thing you've ever had. I'm Stephen Bastian. This is the Relationship Life. I'll see you tomorrow.